falsehood.
My view is we had a double Guantanamo.
What do you talk about when you have nothing to say?
This is insane.
Some of these people frighten me. They frighten me.
President Bush has talked about our staying in Iraq for 50 years.
Maybe 100.
The danger from Iran is grave.
Well, I'm not concerned about the voters.
It'll be a really nice fruitcake.
But I can't be president unless you choose me to be, and I hope you will.
Deficit financing, big government, more taxes, more bureaucracy, more regulations, more policing the world. What are you guys talking about, you know?
Hi, and welcome to Director's Cut. I'm your host, Charles Monroe-Kane. That was a clip from the documentary For Liberty, How the Ron Paul Revolution Watered the Withered Tree of Liberty. We're joined today by the film's directors, Corey Kealiher and Chris Rye. Thanks, guys, for joining us today. Appreciate coming in.
Thanks for having us.
So let's go back to the time and just remind people, who is Ron Paul?
Well, Ron Paul's a congressman from Texas who ran for president in 2008 and found himself at odds with his own party.
He ran as a Republican.
Right. And it was mainly over the war issue. I mean, he's a strict constitutionalist. He is strict fiscal conservative. You would think that's something Republicans would, love in their candidates, but because of the war issue, he was kind of marginalized and ostracized for it.
Now, two things. So we'll go to you. Just that I want to pick up on in there. One, I want to help us define what a strict constitutionalist is, so people can know what that is. But what separated him about the war as well? I mean, what was that thing that separated him?
Well, it was obvious to people watching the debates. His stance on the war was drastically different than the rest of the people on stage. The other 10 candidates. What's what it started out with, and he was he's been opposed to the war since the beginning. He voted against it. He never supported it. And these other candidates on the stage with him, they're basically, I guess you'd call them neocons,
Sure.
And
they're Rudy Giuliani, obviously George Bush. Who were the other people out there? Not John. I'm sorry, John McCain.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all. Then it was standard pro-war. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And so he separated himself there. It's interesting as I watch this documentary and I think about Ron Paul, and I remember the Ron Paul campaign. And this is a question for you, and also would be one for Ron Paul if he was sitting here as well. Why? I mean, he was not going to win. He was not going to win the candidacy for president for the Republican Party, but he spent a lot of money and a lot of his own psychic energy to do it, and so did you guys. I mean, you guys made this film. You must have started editing after he lost.
Yeah, we knew.
What's this? For both of you? First, start with you. What would sustain your energy to make a film about a candidate who couldn't win, and then making it after